Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Quantum Leap Futures Morning Leap Session. This is Wednesday, December the 21st. My name is Doug McKay. I'm the founder of Quantum Leap Futures. Each morning we get together in these live sessions to take a look at the market macro to micro, take a look at the structure of the market, then we drill down, decide where our trade levels are, our targets are, what our hypotheses are. We do create multiple hypotheses in order to have a plan in place for whatever the market throws at us. That way we're not trying to figure it out on the fly during the heat of the moment. This is a subscription room. If you're interested in checking it out, send me an email, quantumleapfutures@gmail.com. There's no website, there's no blog, this is not a commercial venture. We do everything live here in the go-to in the pre-market session, then we do live trading and analysis during the course of the trading day. Please read through the disclaimer. Nobody at Quantum Leap is a certified trading advisor. We are retail traders operating within a self-organized learning environment. Past performance is not indicative of future results, and any trades that you see in Quantum Leap are for education purposes only. Please trade your own due diligence, your own trade plan, and your own risk metrics. Okay, quickly to the news. We have consumer confidence coming out of Europe at 10 o'clock. We've got Belgian NBB business climate coming out at 9 a.m. in 15 minutes. These are all Eastern time. We've got existing homes for the U.S. at 10 o'clock, and then 10:30 is really going to be the big news, and that's going to be your crude oil inventories. Other than that, we don't have any other news. It's going to be quiet news day again. Yesterday, we did break out of the symmetrical triangle that we were looking to break. We broke it to the upside. Had a bit of a balancing day. We only had a 9.5 full session range and 7.25 point on the RTH. So very balanced day, but we have held value overnight. In fact, if you take a look at our VPOC, our overnight VPOC is exactly in the same spot it was for the RTH session there. So they broke out to the upside and creating new balance. We did get the shift of the microcomposite VPOC up to the 6650, so value is coming up, and we're looking for continuation. But we do still have that gap down below. It's a very tiny gap from Monday to Friday, and still think that we could come down first. There's some repair work that's got to be done. They might come down and test the trend line of the triangle, the upper trend line of the triangle, and then bounce from there. Let's take a look at the macro to micro. I always start my day with the monthly and work my way down to the intraday. I use a 9 EMA, 20 SMA. What I'm looking for is slope and separation for the strength of the trend, where the trend is being challenged or violated, and I'm looking for any chart patterns that might give us a measured move or guidance. We had this beautiful upward trend, great slope, great separation, multi-year. Then at the end of 15, beginning of 16, they challenged it. Then they took it back, and then we got this this following three pattern that we were watching all last month to see if it's set up for the continuation. We got the continuation. They break out. They go up and put a new all-time high at 2273. One of the things that we got to keep an eye on is the fact that we are very close to a Dow 20,000, and I think they're going to continue to push until they get that Dow 20,000. So the risk right now is to the upside. So be careful on your shorts. We've got a good continuation pattern going here with slope and separation. Going to the weekly, you can see that again the same thing. We do have a technical gap right now on the weekly, but we could close that through time and price. We could be setting up for another bull flag here on the weekly that we just saw on the daily. Speaking of the daily, going down to the daily, here was your symmetrical triangle. We broke out yesterday, and now we're holding above it. So this is a continuation pattern. Price is paralleling the 9 quite nicely. You can see we've got good slope and separation. So the trend is definitely up on the daily. Going to the intraday, see that we are creating another symmetrical triangle here on the daily or on the 4-hour. So I'll be watching this for breakouts, but you can see that we're getting a little bit of sideways action, but the slope and separation is still showing that the trend is up on the 4-hour. Going to the 1-hour, you can see that we have a bit of a declining wedge here. We're kind of going sideways. We're below the 9 and the 20 right now, so we're seeing some signs that we are going to get a push back towards yesterday's range, back towards the balance, and probably find buyers, responsive buyers down there. Going to the 30-minute, you can see that we were starting a downward trend, but now they're trying to take it back, coming up and testing the 20 right now. But basically consolidating on the 30-minute. 15-minute, same thing, and then the 5-minute. You can see that they were in a downward trend. They violated the trend. Now we're going sideways, and they're holding above the 9 and the 20. So, a little bit of a mixed bag on the intraday, shorter time frames. But again, the overall right now is that the market still wants to go up. And taking a look at the structure, you can see that this was the balance that we are in the symmetrical triangle, and they popped up again. Microcomposite VPOC has shifted up. Watch the 68. That's going to be our key line in the sand. If we get above 68, I believe that we'll go and break the range high from yesterday at 69.50, and at that point in time, I'm targeting new all-time highs at 73. Below us right now, Monday's range high, the high at 63.75 is something that I'd be watching very closely. We do have the possibility right now, because we've got this wick and we've got this wick and we've got this wick right here. So, and this is very blunt with a lot of undetermined value right here. You can see how flat this is. So we could fall back into these wicks and just chop around again today on light volume as we mature the auction in this area and get stuck in these wicks. So one of my hypotheses is going to be stuck in the wicks. But let's take a look at the overnight action. You can see that we had a very balanced day yesterday in the RTH. We basically had a very balanced day overnight session with value, the VPOC, developing VPOC at 66.50. Yesterday's VPOC is 66.50. We're likely going to open up in range and in value. I'm expecting to see two-sided trading on the open. There's a little bit of the LVN that you want to pay attention to here at 65.75, but really it's the 63.50 area, 63.75, that I'm going to be paying very close attention to, and that range high from Monday. Other than that, there's not a lot of information overnight. Inventory is neutral overnight. We have an overnight high at 67.75, just below the value area high from yesterday. Our overnight low is 63 and 63.5. You can see that we had an inside range overnight, so they're accepting this value here. And then the overnight VPOC, of course, is sitting right on top of yesterday's RTH VPOC, and that's all the information I need from yesterday's session. So levels, very simple. Okay, you've got 68, you've got the 69.50, you've got the 65 and then you've got the 63.75. I know these ranges are tight, but I expect the range to be somewhat tight as well. And then you've got the 62 down here, 62.25. And what is my hypothesis? Hypo 1, open auction in range or open test drive. Test both sides. Come down between the 63.75 and the 62. Find responsive buyers and start grinding our way up towards the new high and targeting the 73. Our 20-period daily ATR range is running at 17.25. So off of the low overnight of 63.50, our ATRs are really tightening up. Our upside ATR target is 80.75. And off of the overnight high of 67.75. 67.75 minus 17.25, 50.50. All right, so Hypo 1 is open auction in range. Come down somewhere between the 63.75 and 62.50, maybe even coming back, okay, into the 60 area. Don't need this. And then finding buyers and rotating up through and making a new all-time high. That's Hypo 1. Hypo 2 is a open auction in range. Failure to break out of the range high or a false breakout, a quick move up and then failure, and then come in here, and Hypo 2 is get stuck in the wicks and just basically chop, okay, between the 58.75 area and the 66.50, and just chop in this area and fill in the undetermined fair value. That's Hypo 2. Hypo 3 is an open auction in range, move up to the naked VPOC, fail to break out of the value, and then rotate down to the 60 area, chop around the 60 to 62 area, and fail, and come down and take out this naked VPOC at 58, and then get a late day probe down into the 52 area and close somewhere down here and back down where the microcomposite VPOC was when we first started out this balance here. That is Hypo 3. Hypo 3. And then Hypo 4 is a open auction in range or an open drive, push up into the 69 right away, and then get the continuation day. We broke out of the symmetrical triangle, and I would expect to go in and make new highs and continue and push towards the 80.75 to 85 and close somewhere up here in the 80s. Those are my four main hypotheses. I'm not expecting a lot of range. I'm expecting light volume. We've been doing a lot of light volume as we get closer to Christmas. Do I think that there's still a move left in this market? I do. And I think that move is to the upside. So just remember that risk right now is to the upside. We're currently trading above the VWAP, and we're trading right on the VWAP right now. The pivot point is 65.50. The Keltner center line is 65.50. Push up to the upper Keltner is going to take us up into the new all-time highs. A break below is going to take us down to that 58.75 area. So keep an eye on the Keltner. We are going sideways on the Keltner and expected two-sided trading with some heavy rotations. That's going to complete our pre-market session. As always, trade well, trade safe, and we'll catch you on the flip side.